up, everybody? It is Queen Phierce, host of the Queen Network. I miss y'all. So, all right, short little backstory. Facebook burnt me out. I was trying to stay consistent with the watch parties and all that. But the last video I uploaded, it took like 2 days to upload. So I ended up like never really even sharing the episode. Y'all see what I look like? I need this hair done did. I'm going to act presentable like I'm doing something for the Queen Network. Oh, don't you worry about this little power hook. The size of my hair is going back. V going to kill me. I don't know whether to cut it or let it grow. I ain't had sides in 10 years. So we're going to figure this thing out. Welcome, y'all. Thanks for joining me on this episode of the Queen Network. And I just wanted to talk about a couple of things. 2 things to be exact. I'm not going to be before you long today because I just want to say what I got to say and keep it pushing. I've been doing a lot of writing. So writing with the CCC emails and writing with the blogs. So I feel like I'm pouring and I'm putting out enough information to keep this vibe going. So if you want to catch our CCC social write email list, self-care and creativity tips for your week, not always coming on Sunday, but they are coming once weekly. Make sure you hit me up and send me your email address. I will add you to the list. Last night's email was about decluttering your space and what it can do for you as part of decluttering your mind and your spirit, your body, and your soul, and all that. And so I extended it into the blog that I just posted on queenphierce.com. I said it would be out by midnight last night, but it came out like 4 o'clock this morning just because I was up. So it's decluttering your space mentally and physically. So there's lots more tips on there, more tips for decluttering your physical space as well as decluttering your mental space, which is kind of like the phase that I'm in right now. So I'm all proud of myself because I've been like building stuff all week. I got boxes of stuff in here now that I need to build. I'm about to build my dining room chairs. I built 4 shelves all together. I'm like Mrs. Fix It. I started to make a video because I don't know if y'all would believe that I'm really Mrs. Fix It like this, but it's all good. Just believe it when you see it. Okay, but listen, I don't know if I've ever seen so much space on my counters and I in my kitchen. I'm so excited. I'm like, I could use this space to actually work or actually cook or actually do something. So it really does do something for your mental capacity, your mental space when you clear your physical space. Now, I got a long way to go in this house. We've been in here for 6 months. Stuff is just everywhere, and I found myself getting in the reorganizing mood for school. So they have their own space. That space is all organized. I took a picture of it, and I was like, at the end of the day, if this space don't look like this, say no to YouTube, because y'all ain't getting it. Y'all ain't getting none. So they've been keeping it together. They've been keeping up with the space because they want that YouTube child. Yes, they do. So we got the school space all situation. I'm working on a workspace. I have a nook. I'll call it a nook, like on the porch, which is where I am right now. But it's still kind of surrounded by stuff that needs to go into storage and just a whole great big deal. So we have and y'all know my bedroom and my closet is just it's a evolution. Is a constant work in progress. So that's coming along the way too, but if you got to still keep up with like it. So like if all I had to do all day long was sit in here and cook and clean, then I would do that. But I'm a homeschooling home hottie. Like I'm just in here. I helped them with their schoolwork. We just got done. They having a little bit of movie. I said, listen, mother needs to go make her recording for the day. So they just want to sit in there and watch some good Puss in Boots and keep it pushing. And they'll probably stalk me like when I'm done. But for right now, I'm going to take these couple of minutes and I'm going to talk to y'all. Okay, so I'm getting things done around the house. I'm clearing my mental. And so part of, so I guess it's three things. So part of the blog post yesterday, ways to declutter your mind, one of the ways was writing stuff down. And so the part that I didn't include was journaling is also a part of that. But I talked about journaling like in other emails and other self-care tips as well. So I wrote today. I don't know if I would call it journaling or it wasn't exactly reminding myself, but it was just something that I needed to empty out. Like it was just weighing heavy on my spirit. And I needed to, so writing actually helped me get through my day. I just sat down and I wrote out everything, because when you have a strong emotion behind something, like you just want to blurt everything out, and you may not have an opportunity in that moment, or I'm being considerate of other people's day. But it's like, if I walk around carrying this all day, I'm going to be pent up, I'm going to be frustrated, I'm going to take that out on other people. So instead of doing that, I sat and I wrote it out and I released. And then my good friend came over. Well, we were supposed to have a meeting, but apparently the meeting is rescheduled and nobody told me, even though I was hosting. And I just knew I was doing something, but I was like, maybe I didn't confirm this right. I don't know. But C Rights came over today, so our little meeting became a Triple C pop-up. And we was outside painting. I found these little kits at Five Below, and so they are the cutest. I'm gonna drop a picture on here, but they are the cutest. And yeah, so we was just outside painting. We chatted a little bit, we sipped wine, we sat in silence. I said a couple things that came to mind. She said a couple things that came to mind, but we just painted. In between, I was logging the kids on because I just needed a little time and a little space, and that was it. So I'm definitely going to squeeze in a couple of Triple C pop-ups before the weather get all crazy. And we could start out with a coloring pop-up, and I'm thinking of something in the park, maybe Malcolm X Park. And it's going to be dope, and y'all going to come, and let's just have fun. And I'll throw a little, for a side fee, I'll throw a little cocktail, but right now we're doing this donation piece. But yeah, so look for that. And we'll do a Triple C pop-up because I miss y'all. And let's not forget what the premise is for Triple C. We're going to do it. I'm thinking September 19th. I'll talk to y'all soon about that. So yeah, we had an impromptu Triple C pop-up. It was so funny because I bought these painting kits, and I bought these masks that you can make yourself, and I immediately thought of C Rights, and for some reason I just knew we was going to be in my backyard painting or making these masks, and she happened to be here today for something else entirely, and that's what we ended up doing. See how the universe be bringing stuff full circle, honey. Full circle. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for this space, and I'm grateful for her openness. The flies was trying to get us. I'm glad she stuck it out. We did sit outside, so next time we might have to we had the bug spray. I don't know, but I need to invest in some citronella or something, because it was like, I'm like, do y'all want to paint? Do y'all want to sip? Yeah, the flies was definitely trying to get us today, but we had a good time, and I enjoyed her company. So thank you, C Rights. Thanks for coming, and just spending time with a queen. Sometimes that's what we need. Oh, I'm a poet, and you didn't know it. I say that at least once a show. I have to. Y'all clock me on it. So I say it at least once a show. Maybe. Okay, so I look crazy. Y'all didn't even tell me I look crazy like this. Oh my gosh. I don't even want to show y'all what my hair really looks like. As y'all can see, I colored it since the last time we've been together. Alright. I'm going to have to hit it from this angle so I can look civilized. on this live, civilized on the live. I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience in Minneapolis. And I did post on social media that I visited the George Floyd Memorial. So it was completely by happenstance. When I was in search of this mural, I didn't know that it was at the George Floyd Memorial. I just thought it was a mural somewhere in Minneapolis. And I found one mural, but I don't think it was the mural. First of all, there's murals all over Minneapolis right now. It's becoming, I saw an article that says City of Lakes is now becoming the city of murals. So I found a mural that I wanted to take a picture by, but it made me think of, oh, where's the original mural? And so I looked it up. And so I was like, I guess we have time to go there before we go to the airport. So we go there, and they have the entire block in all directions from the intersection blocked off. So you can't even drive down there. And so when you walk up, there's a sign that says, you are now entering the free state of George Floyd. I was like, yo, these people, they are not playing with y'all. Okay, y'all need to leave these barriers alone, because people are going to use their bodies as barricade to protect this space. The space is sacred. You can feel the spirits move as you are walking down the street. I lied to you not. I suddenly, like, I was walking and I was filming the names, and I suddenly got like really overwhelmed, and like tears just started like pouring down my face. And I was reading the names to myself. And if I had time, I would have stopped and read each name out loud. So when I go back, that's what I'm going to do, because I want to honor all of the names that was listed in the street mural. And you need to continuously say their names. And so at the end of the mural, of course, was George Floyd, and may he rest in peace. And then that area, the whole block was surrounded by murals and street art. And there also was, the whole block is memorialized. There's flowers, is Black Lives Matter. There was outside church going on. I don't know if that was just because it was Sunday, but or if that happens all the time, or if the church like that's in that neighborhood is standing in solidarity with the movement of keeping this space sacred, like keeping that space the George Floyd Memorial. So from the signage that was posted there, the barricades were supposed to be removed August 17th. And so I visited like August 30th or 31st, somewhere in there. So they were still up, but I don't know if that's like, oh, well, these barriers can come down any minute and they're just rocking out, or if they succeeded in the motion of keeping the space sacred, or if they just haven't gotten to taking the barriers down. So apparently the stone barriers were erected because when the people built the memorial, or started building the memorial for George Floyd, the police drove through it. And so the people of the neighborhood had the city put up these stone blockade barriers so that nobody could drive through there. So I'm wondering how long that's going to happen, and what we have to do to stand in solidarity with the people of Minneapolis and that neighborhood to keep that space sacred. Because it's like they created the space to honor the man that changed the world, or to ignite change in this world. And they will fight for it. They will fight for it. It's a landmark. I didn't even know I could check in there. It's called George Floyd Memorial. I just thought it was 3741 Chicago Avenue in Minneapolis. But it is George Floyd Memorial. So if you could tag yourself there, it's a place. is a place, apparently. So yeah, just remember the people of Minneapolis. I'm gonna do a bit more research about what people can do in general that want to help and want to keep the space memorialized and sacred. So that was my take on my experience at the George Floyd Memorial. I appreciated everyone's comments, people saying that they could even feel through the pictures part of what I felt, and that signifies the power of what is actually happening there and what has already happened there. So I'm grateful to have had that experience, and honestly, I will go back with the intention of revisiting the memorial to actually spend some time there. I would like to ground there, like spend some significant time there, and not just when I'm on the way to the airport and finding it by accident. So yeah, that was my experience with the George Floyd Memorial. That actually, I thought it was all I wanted to talk about. I wanted to tell y'all about this dream. So 2 nights in a row, I had these off the wall dreams, but they was like kind of decent, but still like threw me for a loop. So the other morning, yesterday morning, I dreamt that I was traveling to space. In the dream, I didn't actually make it to space. I was like in preparation for going to space. I mean, like outer space. I want to say it was Mars, but it could have been the moon because I remember some weightlessness. Anywho, I remember packing my leopard book bag, and it was jewelry in there. It was everything the Phierce could take. I had my lashes on. Like, you are not going to catch me in space slipping. Okay? And I just think it was, a symbol of elevation, a symbol of going somewhere that people don't believe that I'm going to go or are able to reach. Truly taking those unintentional limits off of myself. You know, people say the sky is the limit. Well, obviously we can go beyond the sky if I'm fitting to go to space, you know. So the dream, it seemed simple, but it seemed real. It seemed tangible. So, and it meant something to me. It doesn't have to mean anything to anybody else, but I do think it was significant that global mindset was in the dream because I was going to space. So to have a global mindset means to understand that the world is bigger than where you are. Yeah, this is the first time I'm kind of like really hashing it out too. So y'all getting some firsthand Phierce dream interpretation here. But yeah, so the world is bigger than where you are, and where would you go? But what if I would go beyond? I would definitely go beyond where I am, but what if I could go beyond the world or the idea of the world? Or if my mindset is bigger than just this world. So I mean, the dream actually makes me pretty excited because I have been, the way my brain is set up, I have just been working. My brain has been working overtime. The ideas have been flourishing. And so I did recently, I woke up with an idea that I was like, why would you, like, I literally asked God, was like, why would you give me this? Like, don't I have enough going on right now? And then he was like, listen to this. And then he told me the name of it, and I was like, how can I not do this? Like, there's nothing like this. So And then the crazy part is when I do it, I don't want anybody to know it's me, because people be real funny about what they support. But the idea is you have to support this idea. It's nothing not to support. That's the crazy thing. So I was like, why would you give me this? Like, didn't you tell me to open a school? Like, didn't you tell me to help parents who are in the same boat that I am, and assist students and people who have special needs? And didn't you tell me to do all this? Didn't you tell me to leave my job? And I did. Didn't you tell me to be a community organizer? And now you telling me to start this? I was like, am I overwhelmed? But the thing about it is I'm not overwhelmed. I'm just trying to find like physical time in the day, because along with me having all of these ideas, it's, still taking care of the children and still doing schoolwork and still trying to do, my work. Like, I still have a commitment to training and consulting and starting a part-time gig and starting a school, and then you give me this, and I just be like, God, you funny. And then after we chuckle, he's like, all right, write the outline and get her done. And I'm like, oh, all right. So that's what I did. So, of course, I'm not going to talk about it right now, but as we're moving forward, you'll be hearing more about that, because apparently it's a thing that I have to do now, because God put it on the agenda. Oh, so I talked about this. I actually had a really long talk with my brother about this. And so our pastor always says, God will never put a dream in your heart that he did not intend for you to have. But sometimes we get frustrated with when something feels like it slipped through our fingers. So my thought is, if it slips through our fingers, it wasn't meant for us to have it. So there's a difference between an idea, something that is an idea in your mind, versus something that is a dream in your heart. So dreams that are in your heart, if you think about things that are in your heart, that's passion. That's what you're going to pursue. But if you think about your mind and how fleeting your mind is, and how your ideas and your mind can be all over the place, if you never hone it in, if you never really make it or allow it to be a dream in your heart, was it meant for you? So is it a flaw if it slips through your fingers, if it never makes it in your hands? So it has to be a dream in your heart. So the things that start in your mind, if they don't filter down into your heart, it's not for you. It might be for somebody else. Ideas are great. I mean, we can all win off ideas. It don't mean that you're the vessel for that idea. I'm supposed to be sipping to this. How I'm going to sip to this. But yeah, so, and that was the conversation, or the conclusion that I kind of came up with after, especially listening to church on Sunday, because it's been a couple weeks since I checked into church, to be transparent. But I really it's like a revelation. It just came to me, and me and my brother had actually had that conversation about, I know there's ideas that I had that I see other people manifest. Like, why did I have that idea, and how come it didn't manifest for me? Well, and I say this all the time, it matters what you put your energy to. It matters. And if you don't devote your energy to it, it doesn't develop into a passion. If it don't develop into a passion, it's not going to drop into your heart. And if it doesn't drop into your heart, then it's not obligated to get into your hands. How you like that? Okay. I'll be dropping mad knowledge on y'all. At least I'll be trying to anyway. I just be hoping y'all be listening. Y'all be listening. Anyway, thank you so much, y'all, for tuning into the Queen Network. Oh, so, and that was just one dream. So the other dream, I gotta tell you about this dream before I let y'all go. So this is the dream that I had this morning. And I can only remember the end part of the dream, and probably because it was time for me to get up. So, and I know it had something to do with what my little one said yesterday. He said something about a bus being a plane, but we were stopped at a train crossing, and it was a freight train, so it was moving real slow. But he said something about a bus being a plane. So the crazy part was, in this dream, I was on a bus that was a plane, and it happened to be a SEPTA bus. And the bus took off, and when we reached a certain height, and then make it all the way up into the air, the plane, it just started dropping, and it started flipping. And I remember having all of these emotions, like feeling like I was about to die, and being scared out my mind, and wondering what was about to happen and what was this going to be like. So I had all this thought process while this bus is like flipping in the air. I remember thinking, this is taking too long. Why haven't we hit the ground yet? And it was so I could figure it out. And so I remember releasing myself from all those thoughts and just being free. And my body went toward the front end of the bus, and by me doing that, it started balancing the bus plane out, and so then it caused the plane to kind of float. But just to check to see if I was tripping or not, God allowed the plane to start flipping all over again, all crazy. And I immediately did what I did the first time. Allowed myself to go to the front of this bus. I don't know if I was like at the window, out the window, if the window was broke out or what, but I was at the very front as if I was like balancing it out. And then the bus just like landed safely. And in my brain, I was like, yo, I just saved a whole bunch of people's lives. And I think people were like catching up to that part, but I was just so happy that everybody was okay. And I just got off, like got down and just like took time to myself. Yo, what? I wonder what I'm gonna dream tomorrow morning. Now this dream, I ain't getting enough sleep. But the quick of it is, things are seeming real topsy-turvy and flippy right now. And there are some elements of fear, extreme fear, because if you can imagine what feeling like you're gonna die feels like. I think I only had that feeling in one other dream. And then to allow yourself to just let all that go and you balance it out. But balancing it out doesn't just affect you. Balancing out this crazy topsy-turviness, you balancing out these extreme feelings, you making stuff level, allowing things to move at the pace it needs to move. saves everybody. Yo, I just need y'all to like grab hold onto the revelation that I got out of it, because it was like deep for me. It was like quick but deep, and I was like, oh. So, but that's what happens. That's what happens when you tell God, listen, I'm open. Say what you gotta say. I'm open. Lead where you want to lead. I'm open. What do I need to do? Because you always want to be aligned in your purpose. You always want to be completing His will. The refinement is in the alignment. Now, I think that's all I had to say. So, I know this is like up close and personal for y'all, but thank you for tuning into the Queen Network. I love y'all a long time. I appreciate you. Thanks for rocking with me. We're going to get back on track for September. I know some people that I need to reach out to who wanted to have interviews, and maybe we'll keep this cute, condensed, personalized, intimate conversation. But yeah, if anything I say resonates with you, make sure you share this video, like this video. When you see it, share or like it or comment so I know that it came across your airwaves and your ears, so I know that something I'm saying is making sense, because sometimes I just be like, yo, what? And I promise I will do something with myself next week. I literally just stopped giving a social studies lesson, and I was like, let me do this video so it can be on and popping at 7 o'clock, just like I see it. But thank y'all so much for tuning into the Queen Network. I'm your host, Queen Phierce. You can check with me anytime. Follow me on Instagram at Queen Phierce, Queen Phierce. Send me an email, queenphierce@gmail.com, especially if you want to be part of our Triple C Social Light weekly emails, connecting queens through creativity and self-care. And it's more than just queens now, it's royalty. So self-care is for everyone. COVID came and we had to switch it up. You know, my focus is always going to be on the health, well-being, and success of Black queens. However, this is just not the time to leave out any elements of self-care. So if you don't identify as a queen and you still need some self-care, I am being conscious of pronouns and language in my emails, because I have more than just queens that are tuning in and being a part of our community. So with that being said, make sure you send me an email for that, or whatever you want to co-host with me. You want to have an on-air conversation, we could zoom it up. Hit me up, slide in my DMs, because I like that. What more can I say? Oh, make sure you checking out the blog that I just dropped on queenphierce.com. At like 4 o'clock this morning. I don't sleep anymore, y'all, so don't be surprised. All right, I'm out. I will see y'all next week. Don't call it a comeback. Oh, I've been here for years.